Well, good evening, Katie and Matt. It's nice to have you with me in this meeting. I'm Zuzana Basil, and I'm the Associate Dean for Business, and I currently oversee MBA 501, 502, Graduate Fin, Economics for both undergraduate and graduate. So quite a variety, but all quantitative disciplines. So MBA, today we will go over MBA 501. This is our term kickoff call, the agenda. We started another term. So we're going to look at MBA pathways, the most common questions that I have seen and the faculty has seen when they're looking at MBA 501. I'll share some feedback that students provided when they take this class. Look at some best practices we can offer as instructors to our students to help them progress through the program and the course. And of course, share reminders and share some exciting statistical data since this is a statistics class. Anyways, let's jump in. If you have any questions, feel free to either type it in or speak. You have microphone privileges. I would be happy to answer those as we go forward. Okay, this is an MBA course map. So we have very specific MBA program where we start with foundational coursework for students that are transferring or coming in without the undergraduate degree in our business discipline. So we know that some of our students that are coming in have, taken undergraduate studies in different areas such as liberal arts or social sciences. So they do not necessarily have the statistics and math background that is necessary in order to complete our MBA program. So in order not have these students struggle along the way when they progress to the more difficult courses, the major courses, they take foundation courses. And of course, we are having now MBA 501. And as you can see, this is very specific for a university. There are other colleges that probably don't have the foundation courses, and we are working very hard to revisit our MBA program. And in the future, we would like to build up the foundations, the knowledge of statistics, business analytics within the courses, so students can progress through our MBA without having to actually physically take the foundation courses. So that's something we are looking at and currently exploring. But for now, we have these foundation courses that truly help students get into the MBA program, work on the math and statistics. And we know that by taking these, they have a higher chance of succeeding in finishing their master's degree. Now, in these first 5 courses, MBA 501, 502, 503, 610, and OL 500, they are still provisional students, but once they move through the foundation courses as they need them, we will fully accept them and they move on to our major courses. We have 27 credits they have to take, 9 required courses, and then they have electives or concentration courses. Again, 3 courses, 9 credits, and they can choose from 24 available concentrations. That is quite an amazing feat because they can choose really where they would like to be in their future, what career path would they take, how is the MBA concentration going to truly help them. And because we are online and we have such a wide variety, a lot of our students like that because we can target their specific career goals. Any questions so far? Okay. Katie, let me know if I'm missing anything, okay? Now, let's look at our MBA 501, Math and Statistics for Business. So Math and Statistics for Business could be very hard class for some of our students coming in after a long period of break from college. And for students who haven't taken those quantitative courses before. So MBA 501 always requires the instructors to be more approachable, more hands-on, and really lead the students through. It's also important to show the student how the MBA 501 fits into their overall MBA pathway. Where are they located in their degree? And how are they going to progress further? And how are they going to succeed? So we have this MBA pathway which which students can access, and you can show how the MBA is progressing and how statistics and math is important. MBA 501, since again it is the first course, we see the same questions. So a lot of our students are not used to the Pearson textbook online and linking the textbook and completing their coursework, some of the coursework online. So it's a good way sometimes you might see questions from students about how do I access the textbook? How do I process the information from the textbook? Or how do I link the information and the work from the online Pearson website to the actual to Brightspace? So we see a lot of questions about Pearson textbook and their online component. And the other thing we see a lot is midterm and final exam attempts and late policy related to them. So a lot of our students in this class in MBA 501 struggle with midterm and final exams. Even though they take the practice exams, I have heard a lot of times, this is really the real exam is more difficult than the practice exam. So any hints you might provide for them when they're trying to take the midterm or final exam is welcome. An announcement, hey, there are these questions, watch out for this specific question. Maybe a resource on this website might help you. So any help you might provide in the midterm and final exam weeks is welcome, because that's where we found our students are truly struggling. Also, there is only one attempt on both midterm and the final exam, and the late policy should apply. So if the student did not complete the midterm or final exam in the particular week, they have another week where they can complete it and they get the 10% late penalty. Now, a lot of students complete the final and midterm exam and hope there's another attempt. Unfortunately, there is one attempt on each. So that's also what we have seen. The other thing we have encountered in MBA 501, especially because it's the first class they take, is the academic honesty policy and how to read it and how to look at the Turnitin data. So our students are new to the graduate school, they're returning to college, and they are not still comfortable reading the percentages of the scores in Turnitin. So reminding them how to cite properly, what is allowed, what is not allowed, what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, is a good practice. So maybe having an announcement prepared that you can post the first week and say, this is a great APA resource, or please use the writing center if you are unsure how to handle Turnitin, or if you have problems citing, we have great resources that can help you. Discussion board participation is the other one. As you have noticed, this term, the MBA 501 had changed. There is no more the first getting started and then the discussion 1-1. It was combined. So that hopefully helped a little bit, where you could see that students were active in the 1-1 discussion instead of concentrating on 2 discussions in the first week. That's always confusing. But being active on discussion and promoting it is a great way to get students involved in the class and participating. And students struggle in the discussion and ask questions about, do I need to have resources in there and cite, or do I just provide my opinions? So guiding them sometimes and putting in discussion, you probably need resources. If you have any specific data, don't forget to quote it. That's a good practice. You might encompass in your teaching strategy in this class. And grading and feedback. Clearly, feedback is one of the most important components. Directly coaching the student on improvements, guiding them through the milestones towards the final, it is priceless. The students feel that you are involved, they are feeling your presence in the feedback, and they really read that feedback in detail, and obviously grading on time, using the rubric, providing general feedback is very good way to have a positive impact on student success. I know that last term we had a little bit of issues with the grading and with the rubrics, and I'm hoping that our technology team is working really, really hard on solutions. Trust me, there's a lot of groups that are involved, and we want to make the rubrics work and make the grading as easy for the faculty as possible. So hopefully there'll be no more technological glitches this term. Here's crossing fingers. So I have read through the summary evaluations on MBA 501, and I have picked some that support the questions that students ask or any positive feedback they have provided. And so students said that it was a tough course, moves a little fast and kind of all over the place. Again, just not enough time. I'm glad it's over. I wouldn't wish statistics on my worst enemy. I had not taken math course in many years, but I really learned a lot from this course and enjoyed it much more than I expected to. So you always see some students are struggling more, some students have a positive experience in the class. And again, the final exam and the midterm is where the students are struggling. I found the final exam to be extremely difficult. When looking at the results from the class, it appeared that many failed the exam and the average test score of the class was below 44%. Is this normal for this course? Should the exam be altered to help students, or is it designed to challenge everyone? For non-math minded people, the textbook is not easy to read or understand. The videos in the textbook are poor quality and outdated. So again, it seems like there's the common theme of the final midterm and the textbook. So any, proactive hints you could provide would be good. If you have any feedback how I could help from my side, I would love to know. And I would definitely be open to feedback from your side how I can help. What are the top instructors? What can you do to support? Again, utilize positive, upbeat, and encouraging tone, which majority of you already do. Be present, use announcement and discussion boards to share experiences. Give personal detailed grading feedback. Grade all week and do not do everything on one day. The sooner you can grade, the better. The sooner they receive feedback, the better they can continue in their course. Now, there are a couple of reminders I would like to share for this class. We actually offer academic support live workshops, and they are offered in Module 2 and 4. Students can link to them directly from the learning modules, and they can talk to a academic support person live and ask questions. If you're doing announcements in Module 2 and 4, the overview announcements, please highlight, there is a live workshop run by academic support. Take the time, attend, ask the questions you might have. We found a majority of the students who attend found them very helpful, and they can ask questions and set up even a one-on-one personal coaching later on. So please encourage students to attend these live workshops. Provide support hints on midterm and final exams in modules 5 and 9. As you see, that's like the biggest pain point we have seen in this class. So any hint you can provide for your students would be appreciated. Add instructional, intellectual, and personal content to your course and be responsive to outreach and questions in journal discussions within 24 hours. Now I'm going to share some data, and this is the success rates for each of the assignments and overall for the MBA 501. And as you can see, from the entire enrollment, we have 70, so in 19W2, which was last term, 72% of the students who enrolled succeeded in completing the course. Now, generally we see it in the 70%. We don't see it going above the 80. It is a challenging course, truly, and the students are just starting off with MBA. But when we look across the assignments, the midterm exam is the lowest, clearly, and then the final exam. So those are two exams. I will, from my side, will examine them again and see what we can do and provide for support. But those are the two assignments that our students score the lowest across the board, across many, many terms. Any questions so far? Okay, so last but not least, any questions? I like cool stats. No? Okay. Well, again, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me via email. I'm available via phone too, and I would be happy to share any information I have.
Thank you, Susanna.
You're welcome.
I have a couple of, well, actually a few comments. First of all, thank you for having this meeting. I think is really helpful for the faculty to have this conversation and this outreach from, the leadership, because we feel like we're part of the team and we're informed. I wish my colleagues were here so we can gauge whether, the things that I say is there's consensus or if they're shared or not, or it's just me. But I think it would be beneficial if we have this either each year or every other term, just to touch base and make sure we're all on the same page and we understand what the plan is and how the program is evolving. I do like the fact that there's a like a prerequisite sense, like this course is part of set of courses that are going to prepare students to become MBA students. Like it's not just okay, you're admitted right away, and then you need to complete these courses. Now you need to make sure you have a solid foundation, at least in the quantitative field, to be ready to progress in the MBA program. One of the observations that I have is regarding the assignments.
Yes.
And I know this, I don't know if this might be correlated with the outcomes of the midterm exam, the final exam. But as you might know, students have unlimited attempts in the homework assignments, and this sometimes builds some sort of overconfidence. Like the students think that they understood, they feel like comfortable, like say, yes, I know this because I answered this problem in 10 times, 10 trials, and then when they go in the midterm, when they just have one attempt, and the question is not about memorizing an instance, a numerical instance, it's about applying the concept, and that's when they might struggle, and they I don't know if this is correlated. And the other thing is
that's a very good observation. Thank you. That might be it. Yes, you're correct.
And the other thing is about the Excel homework assignment. And I know it is difficult, it's time consuming, and requires resources. to have new assignments or refreshed assignments. What I have observed over the terms is that students tend to either pass on or collect previous assignments from students.
Okay.
And I know this because, I worked in the field of artificial intelligence.
Yes.
And I do text analysis, I do data mining, I do predictive analytics. So I have trained a model that can predict whether an answer is like original or it matches one of the previous answers from my students. And the similarity index here is very high,
Okay.
which tells me that students either have access to previous graded assignment from myself or on other instructor, and that helps them, gives them some framework of reference to just provide the answer. So I think one way to prevent this is that we can maybe refresh these assignments, change the data, the numerical
Yes.
instance is different. So they just don't have the need to say, okay, I want to succeed, I want a high grade. Maybe if I borrow my friends or classmates' assignments from, 2 or 3 terms ago, and I just submit that as my answer. Uh, that's just what the data tells me.
I
I
That's a
I
good
know
point.
some instances, yeah, some instances are so flagrant that I even had to file a academic
Plagiarism. Yeah.
dishonesty because it was just so obvious.
Okay.
But we can prevent this. We can help students if we invest a little bit of time, just refreshing the data,
Okay.
changing it a little bit,
I will.
so it's not the exact same.
Yes, I will put that on my to-do list next week and look at how I can refresh the data from my side. And perhaps just doing quick tweaks in the Excel would help. So thank you for bringing that up. I would definitely look at it. I will explore that. That's a good point. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, Matt, thank you for your input. It's important to hear from our faculty what is happening in the courses and what they see. I check in the courses, but I am not checking every student. But so hearing from faculty is very valuable to me. I appreciate the input. And I will have these meetings every term. Seems like even if I record it and share it, it's helpful. So I will try to have these kickoff meetings every term going forward. And I can always share the new statistics, and then also if I update any Excel spreadsheets or any updates that are going in, I'm going to definitely share that. So I like hearing from faculty and I like feedback because it helps us improve the course and helps our students getting better education. So this is uh, truly truly excellent. Anything else I can provide? I can answer. Alrighty, well, I will close the recording now and